Have you noticed that everything in life is instant? And we expect it to be instant. Instant grits, online connections, frozen dinners, fast pass at Disney World. Are you getting me here? All right, the other day I was watching Netflix and I was watching a show called How Things Are Made. And once I started watching that show, I started just thinking of things all differently. We take everything for granted. We waste things, something gets a little broken and instead of pulling a little glue out, we like throw it away, right? So how things are made. Well, they're making aluminum foil. And we all use aluminum foil when we're wrapping that apple pie and putting it back in the oven to warm. And they had to put all these metals together. I didn't really think about it. Metals for me to wrap my apple pie in, right? They had all these metals put together. It was liquid. They poured it in and used rollers to smooth it out. And then it's cut and put in boxes so that we can use it. I saw smokers and the pieces being put together by hand and layers of ceramic and firing 2 or 3, 4, I don't remember how many layers of ceramic going in to make these smokers. And then the last thing was these little toy soldiers. The artist had to actually build the toy soldier artistically in their hand. Then they had to make a mold from it and make another mold from that, pour the metal into the mold, and then when the little soldier came out, they had to paint the soldier by hand. I mean, it was crazy. So when you start to watch something like that, How Things Are Made, it makes you really start to think of how's our family made? Do we take time to stop and think about what our family needs from us and how we want to raise our family and what kind of home life we actually want to have? So did you know that 40 to 60% of marriages fail? And I like to be a bearer of good news. I'm kind of an optimist. I like to talk about good things. But the truth is that 40 to 60% of marriages fail. And why is that? Often it can be that people have different love languages. So they just relate to each other differently and they don't give the other person the things that they need in their relationship. Perspectives. People see things differently. You can talk about one topic and two people will see them absolutely opposite and different. Attitudes people have. Some people just let everything slide, nothing bothers them at all. And then another person has to pick at every single detail. Everything gets under their skin, everything bothers them. Family backgrounds are a really big one because how we're raised, who was our family, whether there's a lot of love, was there a lot of yelling, what did you have in your family background? Well, we bring that forward into our relationships. And when we bring things like that forward into our relationship, it has to be dealt with. And unless you stop and deal with the challenges and the problems that you have, you'll keep having them and they'll grow bigger and bigger. Another thing is personality styles and how people communicate. Now, this is where I come in. Literally, each person is hardwired when they're born. Let's think about those little babies. The little baby, the one that's soft and sweet. They smile all the time. They never have a need, hardly ever fuss or cry. And then you have that little baby who also smiles and looks sweetly, but when they get mad, hungry, or they're tired, they pitch a fit. And you start to kind of know that when they're hungry or tired, they're pitching a fit, and that's how they roll. But that shows that we are literally hardwired. We are each and every one very different. Now, when you bring those combinations into a household, first it starts with the couple, and they may be opposite and totally different, or they may be the same and butt heads. They may have children who are different or opposite of them, and they butt heads with them. But it doesn't have to be that way, because if you can understand one another, you're going to have a little more respect for your differences, right? So think of all the things in life that you just didn't know. And think about that moment that the light bulb came on and you're like, oh, wow, I never thought about that before. Well, that's how communication and behavior styles are. You probably haven't ever thought about them before. When we're unaware, we can't help it. We don't answer for something we don't know. But once our eyes are wide open and we start to realize and watch around us and realize the differences in personality styles, It's what causes anger, frustration, irritation, and people don't get along. And when it comes to couples, it literally builds a wedge between them that pushes them farther and farther apart. And so that's what I do. My name is Connie Durham, and I'm with Connie's Clever Concepts, because one concept can change your life. So let me share with you a few things that are on my webpage, www.conniescleverconcepts. You can always find what I'm doing. I have free challenges. One I did was rekindle the romance, and that had 3 tips for couples that help them rekindle that romance. I'm getting ready to work on right now 5 concepts of happiness. This is something that I found that was literally a foundational kind of thing. It's not about any kind of stuff. It's a foundational thing that you identify what exactly makes you happy, and it's not going to be what you think. So watch for that challenge. My challenges are free. They're 5-day challenges, pre-recorded. You look at 10 minutes each of the 5 days on your email, and so it's at your leisure. You get to do it when it's convenient for you. So free challenges, and I also have a free video blog, and that has ideas for couples, ideas with communication styles. It's called DISC, DISNC, where you can find on there. And there's even some John Maxwell things. I'm a John Maxwell speaker and trainer, and so you'll find some John Maxwell things that I've pulled from his books. So my 8-week program for couples is called Communication Secrets for Couples. And that's where you take 8 weeks to learn, because I have found that when we learn something, especially when there's 2 people, you're trying to get along, for 8 weeks, you learn about the communication styles and how to get along, how to use those. And guess what? You can use those at work too. And you can use those, I don't know anything more valuable than learning communication skills, because they change your life. And then I also have Communication Hacks Masterclass. That's a 2-hour class for moms or people that maybe aren't in a relationship, or you can learn about yourself. You can learn about what kind of person maybe you want to have a relationship with. Also, you can use it for work purposes to learn how to get along with coworkers. And then my last thing I have are career insights for students. This is where students can find out about their personality style, embrace things that help them learn to have confidence, and learn what kind of work would be best for them. And let me tell you why that's so valuable. Some people are people-oriented, and if they go to work and they have a lot of task-driven things that they do during the day and no people to talk to, it's quiet, they're literally exhausted at the end of the day, because people inspire them and people give them energy. When they have a conversation, they feel energized. Those are people who are people. And then there are task-driven people who they could go to work all by themselves. They would be perfectly happy if nobody talks to them all day long, because all they need is a challenge and a task, and they're after it. And if they work in a space where there's a lot of people and a lot of interaction, they're frustrated and tired because those people kept them from getting their work done that day. So when you can understand your communication style and understand these things, you can live a better life. My name is Connie Durham, ConniesCleverConcepts.com. Visit my webpage and see what I'm doing. Thank you.